Patriots versus the Steelers.
Now we're gonna see those
That's right.
democratic protest.
There she is.
And we're live too.
Oh, we're live too?
Yeah.
On Instagram?
On
YouTube. Oh, let's go. All right, let's go into this thing.
we can go across this way and that way, Dad. Hey, Devon. So we're walking up to the Mayday protest. Today is May 1st, which is an International Day for Workers' Rights, organized by Seminole County Democrats.
You too, brother. Petition for marijuana.
Oh,
Actually,
okay,
we'll
I
sign
said that.
Yeah, I mean, shit, I'm half Polish.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
So what ways?
It's just the middle. Are you registered to vote?
Yeah.
Yep.
Wonderful. One for you too, young lady. I can hold the stand while you're doing it.
Awesome. I'll do it.
You want me to hold this with like one hand?
Sure.
You want me to like rotate it around or something?
Sure. We are live.
Well, howdy ho, neighborinos. How you done diddly doing?
If anyone needs a water.
I don't have the mustache, but you know, Ned Flanders up in it. They're gonna make fun of my tattoos, I already know it.
No, not at all. My brother's a tattoo artist.
That's how the internet works. Alright, hold on, I'm looking at the comments. No one said anything yet. Say something. This new one. Come on, I gotta see at least something. You can validate or invalidate me, just give me attention.
I don't remember my registration number.
All the young guys, they slide
Do I
down.
have to put the registration number too?
Or birthday, Dad.
Huh?
For your birthday.
Or birthday.
Oh, birthday, okay.
So both Dad and I are signing petitions for pro-legalization of marijuana because we are for the legalization of marijuana.
Y'all might have to hire me on as a cameraman because I'm really good at this.
All right, I think I'm done.
Yes, sir. It looks like you
Today's
are.
May 1st.
May 1st, Mayday, Dad.
But I'm definitely registered.
Yeah, so that is the or segment of it. You can do one or the other, and I appreciate the heck out of you, my friend.
All right.
All right, thank you. Appreciate it, guys.
And you can put that there. I don't want to interrupt the frame.
What did I say?
You got it?
Yep.
Perfect.
You got it, Dad.
That's it?
Petition to vote on marijuana, y'all?
Yeah, we've already signed.
Well, we're voting
Wonderful.
for
Well,
the
just so you know,
legalization of marijuana here.
It's the smallest slope, like those two
And we're
flags.
joining the protest,
Yep.
democratic
It
protest.
gets a little steep over here.
Yeah.
Did y'all need
and a
flags or
Mayday?
signs or anything?
We have our signs.
What else
but
going
I
down
have,
here?
All right, let's go talk to protesters.
Oh, yes,
Okay,
please.
let's join the protest.
So I'll tell you my process. I had a bit of a, I don't want to say cheat code, but that's kind of what it was. I was adopted by an American family.
May Day has largely been adopted as a socialist, communist holiday now, but that's not its originations. So 1886 in Chicago, the Haymarket protest was for the purposes of securing safe labor conditions and an 8-hour workday, and also paid holidays. So that's the origination of May Day.
So we are now to joining the Democratic protest in Seminole County. Actually, this is Oviedo. And see what they're going to say, because not so many people have the MAGA heads, so we don't know how they're going to welcome us here.
Well, we are still registered Democrats, and this is being organized by the Seminole County Democrats.
How's your 401k doing, sir? How's your 401k doing these days?
She's asking how your 401k is
No
doing.
fear! Immigrants are welcome here! No hate! No fear! Immigrants are welcome here! No hate! No fear! Immigrants are welcome here! No hate!
How's your 401k? How's your 401k? How's your 401k?
How's your 401k? How's your 401k?
I'm asking how his 401k is doing, Dad.
Can
My,
you answer
my
that question?
401k is
Can you
good.
answer that question?
Very good, yeah.
Dad, ask him about 401k and the impact that the market's having on
Are you
retirement.
ready for the recession? Are you ready for the recession?
Oh,
It's
no.
coming!
We're waiting for the good time.
Oh, no!
The good time is coming.
Hey, you forgot this.
Oh, thank you.
You forgot that.
Oh, thank you.
Remember that, but you forgot that.
What do we want? Justice!
Dad, here's a Ukrainian flag. You want to ask him about Ukraine?
What do we want?
Can I ask you about Ukraine?
Justice! What do we want now? What do we want? Justice!
We made it.
Now!
We're here.
How embarrassing.
What makes it embarrassing? Let's dig deep about it. Let's talk about it.
This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. This is what democracy
We try to
looks like.
read the signs, to understand.
I'm gonna go get this girl's socks.
You have to know that we all Democrats. We want to be democratic.
Are you guys doing like interviews, or what are you guys doing
Yes.
exactly?
We'd
You
like to
want
ask you what brings you out today.
the camera?
Yeah, do you guys have any like questions, or just want me to say why I'm here?
What brings you
can
out
say
here?
whatever you want to,
Okay.
you know.
Well,
Just make a statement.
well, I'm here because I don't support either sides of the government. I'm not right or left. I'm independent. So honestly, even if Kamala was here, if she was doing the stuff that Trump was doing, I'd probably still be protesting. I don't really like how everybody attacks each other. I'd really just prefer if we could all just talk it out peacefully, because otherwise we just get trapped in our own corners.
But you're still supporting the democratic in our country, right?
I mean, it's a two-party system. There's not much I can do about that. So for now, they just seem to be the most reasonable.
That's it. Well, I'm Democrat too. So,
Oh.
but I'm supporting President Trump. I think he's very good.
Why is that?
But it's okay. It's
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
it's cool. I
Yeah.
mean, why do you think that?
Well, I see a lot of good that we can bring to America, especially if we can save a lot of money to us. America was always good to me. I'm foreigner, okay? I came from Poland, and America was always good to me. I was always democratic, and I always voting for the not a party, but the president who can bring
Yeah.
something good to the country.
So
What you think about it?
it's mostly like a money thing and helping like the little people. Like you think he's gonna like break down the government and give money to the actual people instead of. And yeah, you know what? I get that. If that's what he was actually doing, I would totally be there too. I have a hard time trusting rich people in general. I just don't trust rich people. He's a rich person, and I just don't really see why he'd be doing any of this to benefit us instead of him. But I mean, I really appreciate it. You're peacefulness.
Okay, but one thing I want to tell you about that I'm working also on a project because the biggest problem in our country is the retirees problem. Retirees, when you retire, okay, a lot of retirees have a problem to either to manage the money or they will run out of the money. That's what they worry about. Okay, but also at the same time I'm working on a homeless problem. Okay, that's both goes together, and I hope President Trump or Elon Musk will help me with that to solve this problem, because without solving retirees problems and homelessness problem, America never going to be great. We're never going to achieve MAGA if we're not going to solve these problems.
Yeah, and I agree with that. I just wish there was a little bit more. I like the concepts, but the execution, it's at least been a little bit rash as of late. Like, the tariffs thing, it's not a bad idea. I just wish he would have started making the manufacturing jobs first, and then getting the countries on his side, and then tariffing China. That would have been really good. I would have been cool with that.
Well, all what we have to just wait, you know, what we're going to achieve.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. Yeah, we'll see.
But I see a lot of good. Not everybody probably see what he's going through and what he's going to accomplish. But give him a time, and I believe that we're going to do something good for this country.
Well, I think most people on your side, it's not an evil thing. I think that most people on anti-Trumpers, they think that you guys hate everybody and are selfish. I think it's just like everybody's misunderstanding each other. Everybody's very confused these days.
And I think that when you're able to have conversations with those with opposing views, it's that conversation that's going to help bridge like against all of the like anti stuff, and we'll realize that actually there's a lot of common ground.
Yeah, I agree, because I've talked to a lot of Trump supporters and stuff, and that's usually the big one, because I understand most people who are anti-Trump, they just immediately stop talking, and it's unfortunate because you can't get anywhere unless you talk to people.
You're right, there is a lot of confusion about, especially about the illegal immigration here. I'm immigrant to this country, okay, and I've always been very welcome here. I have no problems here. But I'm against illegal immigration because we have to know who is coming to this country. I had to go with the fingerprints, go to the system, and I don't believe that somebody can just keep crossing the border back and forth. What do you think about it?
Yeah, I mean, I understand that there's this big idea of people illegally crossing the border. And to be fair, a lot more illegal immigrants did come over during Biden's administration. That's very fair, and I understand that. I just don't think that our primary focus right now should be them, and honestly they're not causing as big problems right now because they're not the ones not funding poor communities, but I understand that concern. So
we have to know who is coming to this country, okay? And
we should know.
If something happens, we know who to chase, not give extra job for the policemen that they have to look for something what something that cannot find, okay?
Yeah, I understand.
If you
Thank you very much for...
oh wait, I have a question, Dad. If you had an opportunity to have a conversation with Trump or Elon, what would you talk with them about?
Oh boy.
What are some of your biggest concerns, and what direction would you like the USA to go in?
What would I want them to do? Well, my biggest issue is that, at least with Elon Musk specifically, is that when the whole campaign happened, he was supporting Trump, and I'm fine with that, but it's just kind of weird that he's there because we didn't elect him. And right now we're very big on having elected people, and you know, the whole voting thing, that was the whole thing in 2020 about, you know, whether Joe Biden was elected legally or not. And I know that there was not one vote for Elon Musk, so I would like to ask him why he's doing any of this without having even asked. He just kind of, you know, weaseled his way in. So I'd like to ask him why he did that, other than, you know, money.
Can I ask you, how old are you?
I'm 17 years old.
Wow, you speak very good for 17 years.
Oh.
When I was in that age, basically I didn't understand a lot of things what coming in the world.
It's a shame. A lot of my friends, they don't know what's going on.
Yeah, at my old age, I'm 76, and I try to help my daughter, you know, do those broadcasting and let to find people like you to understand all this situation.
Yeah, just spread the word and communicate with people, inform them.
Thank you.
People should be more informed.
Good man.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. I like talking.
Have a nice day.
Would you like to express why you're here today and your views to the camera?
Oh, you want to see something?
Hi. Good, how are you? I actually signed. I have it because my great grandma was in the concentration camp. And it's
Can I ask you what confrontations did you
in Ravensbrück, Germany. It's an all-women's concentration camp. She was not in the concentration camp.
Just curious,
It
what
was
do you guys
because
do
of
on
the
daughters
religious
now?
freedom. Her religious freedoms were taken away.
Okay.
And so
Was that a me?
she was put in a concentration camp. And I just see all the signs. For me, it's really not, I would actually really truly hope for a good Republican president. I don't mind that at all. I'm for it because I love America. For me, it's the signs that I'm seeing because, especially in the cabinet, I feel like they're loyalists put into the cabinet, not people who are really good at their jobs. I want to see Republicans who are really good at their jobs in the cabinet, no problem. But when you see Fox News hosts and people who I feel like are not keeping our country safe, because I do love this country. I want to see our country safe. Right. That's why I think it's so important to have a dialogue with each other. It's a beautiful
Well,
thing.
I have to tell you that I'm a Democrat supporting Trump.
Okay.
That's
Well, hey,
yeah.
and it's a free country. You know, it's a free country. But that's my thing that I'm seeing. It's a little bit scary because to me, I see when you're installing loyalists who are not listening, because we all love the Constitution. We want to see, and part of the Constitution is when a federal judge rules something, you want to take that process is a constitutional right. You know? So all those things, I just want to see our country run the way it's supposed to be run. And really the main thing is the president works for us. We're the people, we hire him. You know, I mean, that's important. So and I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing this kind of go south, and it's scary to me because we want to see checks and balances. We want to see everything.
As we've been talking to people, like a main concern is the due process, especially with immigration and the legal immigration right now. A lot of people have different definitions of what they see due process as. What is your definition of due process, and how is the current administration now following
So
it?
when somebody gets arrested at the border, you have to have a warrant to enter the house. You cannot just enter people's houses. That is very not regime going into under the suspect that you think that somebody's in there that you think is here legally. But everybody, it doesn't say every citizen, it says every single person has a right. So you can't just assume that somebody, because of the color of their skin, is illegal. You know, we can't assume those things. People have visas, are in the process of getting, like they deserve to see a judge and go to court and have rights. There are no rights. And then especially the El Salvador prison is really, really close to my heart because I feel like if you're Venezuelan and you got snatched off the street by somebody in plain clothes, not even wearing a uniform, and when you ask for ID, not showing ID, that's scary to me. That's scary that they didn't get deported back to Venezuela. They should not be in El Salvador in a high, and a lot of people that are in there, and you know what, maybe some of them are gang members. I'm not saying that they're not, but what if two of them aren't gang members? What if two are really good people, but we haven't checked that yet? We can't just put everybody there. That's what's so scary.
That's Blackwell's rule of law, is that I would rather defend like nine guilty men for that one innocent man not to serve any prison time.
Yeah, and that really it kind of pulls my heart because I feel like you can't just put people in the judge rule. He has to, you know, he has to be produced and be returned because actually, really, I teach my kids to have dialogue. I think it's important.
All right, you would have
I want to ask you about, I see you're wearing the handmaiden's outfit. What women's rights do you feel are under attack?
So, to me, I feel like my main thing always is, if this is a free country, keep it free. So let people make their decisions. And I feel very much separation of church and state has to be separated. The church is making rules and laws for us. That's not okay. Let people decide on their own. So if Margaret Atwood's Handmaid's Tale is one of the banned books in Florida, and I feel like everybody should read it because it's very much like what we're seeing
banning books at all. I feel like, especially in this cell phone age, kids have cell phones at their fingertips. Let them read whatever they need to read. But especially books like To Kill a Mockingbird, let's not ban it. Let them read.
I got a question for you though. So in Florida, of the books banned, about 85% are pornographic content. Are you okay with banning that pornographic content books?
You have children.
Not yet,
Okay. Will your child have a cell phone?
of course.
Okay.
But I'm going to monitor his cell phone as much as I can.
We as parents, we try really hard to monitor. And I'm telling you something. I am not a person that is for pornography, but it is a free country. So if I choose not to do that, and you have a right as a parent to say, I don't want my child.
That's you versus the government, though.
But did you really
Federally
look at
funded
the books?
governments.
Like one of the books that they're citing as pornographic is Trevor Noah's autobiography, Born a Crime. And he says something naughty in it. And yes, I would have no problem.
What did he say? Do you know the quote?
He said,
or something paraphrased?
pornography nowadays is different than what it used to be. Something like when I
Something
read,
benign.
Yes.
Okay.
So I do feel like you as a parent have a right to say, I don't want my kids to read that. And obviously we don't want porn in the library, but I don't think that that is the case. I think that it's different that it's books. You know?
Now, there was that cartoon book that was teaching blowjobs.
Can you show that though?
It was the most viral, famous example about two young boys that were exploring, and it's a graphic image of one boy giving a blowjob to the other boy. It was elementary schools,
It was
yeah.
an elementary
Yes,
school
yes.
library. Okay.
That's one of the books that was
I
banned.
will look into it.
That one needs to be. I think we should all
See,
agree.
here's the thing. I don't believe in book banning them because it's a written thing.
Well, they're not banned by society. They're banned by the state and the local and the government. putting it
Another
in front of our
possible
kids.
solution is the
The parents
permission
can
slips.
still go on Amazon and buy it.
It's permission slips. I remember when we were reading in school, like some of the books we had to read, our parents had to sign off on that. So if there's parental consent, parents can raise their child as they want, and a solution might be permission slips.
Sure, I totally agree with that. Like, yeah.
And wouldn't you say, I mean, it's kind of an irrelevant point when you say that parents can go get them, because we're talking about freedom of access, right? Like, you're taking away the option of choice. In something like a public library or a school library, wouldn't it, having a book there versus not being there, restrict free speech? Aren't you therefore saying that a child has no right to access this information by saying that the place that they engage with 80% of their day isn't allowed to have this object? You're kind of making a bold statement.
If it's pornographic content, I don't think it should be exposed by the.
What kind of what defines pornographic
I just
content?
gave one example of the famous example of the cartoon book. It was not photos, it was drawings, and it was a story about two young boys that were exploring sexuality.
Right.
And it was a vivid image of a blowjob.
But what's the percentage of books that look like
about
that?
85% of the books that were banned were for pornographic reasons.
No. What is the percentage?
I don't know the number. I just know that 85%.
But I'm asking you, what is the percentage of the books that have images like that in them that were banned for pornography? Because it is very easy. Again, like she pointed out, just like you came up with an antidote, he came up with an antidote. You know?
Well, I'm just telling you what's happening.
No, but what I'm telling you is that it's being used as a conflation in order to ban more things more vaguely, which is exactly what happened in Nazi Germany, by the way, when they would say that something was written by radicals or something was written by this. Same thing with, and it's not just pornography, it's Black history is getting banned, it's LGBTQ history. Matter of fact,
are you consistent with the COVID misinformation that was getting banned back in 2020 by Joe Biden?
What do you mean?
Anybody that had questions about the vaccine were banned from all platforms. Did you stand against that too?
So I want to be very clear about something. Again, you're doing a lot of different conflations. There were tons of people that are what we call vaccine deniers. Those are people that don't actually have any basis in any sort of.
A lot of it ended up being right though. Even Mark Zuckerberg admitted that.
No,
Mark Zuckerberg said most of the misinformation.
Mark Zuckerberg is a scientist.
No, but he was getting.
But has the body of science, including the CDC, including the American Vaccine Research. Have they come out and said that most of the information we put out was incorrect?
Mark was getting guidance directly from the White House.
So I'm asking you, is Mark Zuckerberg a scientist?
He's not a scientist.
Is Mark
He's a very
Zuckerberg
smart man.
But no, he says who?
Harvard started Facebook. I mean, he's pretty. I don't think you can deny that.
So you're assuming that Mark Zuckerberg had a background in biology, vaccine, immunology, any of those things?
I would assume no. I don't.
So why would you take him as a representative expert on the topic?
Because he has the benefit of hindsight.
So
and he knows that a lot of the misinformation he was banning ended up being true.
So for you, the benefit of hindsight, I don't
That's
agree
what Mark was saying.
I don't agree with that statement. You say that's what Mark was saying, but I don't think Mark has a background in immunology.
But he knows what he was banning and what was right.
How did he know?
Because the facts are now clear.
What facts are clear? What things was he banning? That was largely, and what was the things that he was banning that were false? What percentage of things?
Well, I'll give you one example. For the first couple months, anyone that said COVID came from the lab was getting banned on all sides. You're not allowed to say COVID came from the lab. And now, fast forward to today, that is the most dominant theory that almost everyone agrees on. Including vaccine people.
Let me
He came with a refugee from Poland under communism is when he immigrated into the U.S.
Flag event that was created by the Chinese government.
I didn't say that.
No, I didn't say that was saying. I'm saying that was the conspiracy theory at the time, and that was generally what was getting tamped down. Now, again, you can kind of try to conflate.
Even the lab mate theory was getting clamped down. They try to push the nature. It came from nature.
Again, for example, if you're going to look at everything Mark Zuckerberg, again, there's tons of things that people get wrong. There's tons of information that people get wrong, but then to conflate that and say that
that's why it's dangerous when
but question
colludes with big tech to censor
and
ban Americans. 99% of censorship that happened on Twitter is against conservatives.
So it's not. Wait. That's actually not true. There's actually plenty of data that.
That's actually true.
No,
there's actually plenty of files.
No, so the Twitter files are proof of fact, right? Or has any known researcher, data scientist, anybody come up and backed up that statement? Is that the plurality?
You can look at the Twitter files yourself.
I have.
99% of Twitter donors were donors to Democrats. The entire thing not under Elon. I'm talking about.
Okay, so what's your point?
It was a complete left-wing bias. If you misgendered somebody,
that's actually not true. So if you actually look, actually there was research done. There was research done by data scientists to look at the actual bias, and conservatives were actually.
Let me change my battery.
By the way, Trump was making some Kool-Aid. You guys can have it pretty soon. It's coming soon to a home near you. Kool-Aid, you get it? You remember Guyana? Yeah. They drank the Kool-Aid? Well, he's giving you guys some more Kool-Aid.
Okay.
That's all I'm going to say.
Thank you.
You have a blessed day. Drink that Kool-Aid.
Yeah, we're gonna go around and read all the signs.
You guys can I get that?
It's on YouTube. You'll find us Polish American Brotherhood.
Polish American Brotherhood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Right out of my chest.
This is a walking advertisement right here. I appreciate your conversation earlier.
Yeah. Thanks I appreciate having conversations and stuff.
We have a podcast. We just launched our podcast, but if you reach out to Polish American Brotherhood, maybe we can have you come in and discuss views.
I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I live here right in Oviedo.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah.
do you go to Oviedo High School?
No, I'm
Okay, go ahead.
in Orlando.
Yeah. We have people from all different views and everything to just have common ground discussions and discuss opposing views. But we often attend anti-Trump protests and everything to give platform to opposing sides, and it helps to bridge communications because there's a lot of I think at the end of the day, people have a lot of common ground. We just have to find it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. What's your name?
Yeah. I'm Kai.
Hi, I'm Tara. Very nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I'll definitely be reaching out.
Great. Okay, you can stay here in the shade.
Process is arrived not private hands-on. Okay. Can you tell us what's that mean exactly? I cannot don't want to say.
Hey! Ho ho!
to everybody one week where we are. We are actually in Oviedo, in Seminole country, Florida. And this is protest at Mayday against the Democrats, against our dear President Trump. So I'm telling them that I'm a Democrat but supporting our President Trump because I see a lot of good things he will be done to America. And me and my family, we love him. Okay? So it doesn't matter if you are Democrat or Republicans, we all have to stand together and do something good for America. That's why we just look at
Ask about the empathy equals strength. The sign that says empathy equals strength. You want to ask her about that?
empathy strength.
Yeah, empathy equals strength.
I don't know if she wants to.
Hi.
Anybody wants to talk to us? No?
Can we ask you about empathy equals strength? Art, can we ask you about empathy equals strength?
No, thank you. Is it wrong for peaceful protest now? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Then go away.
No, listen. We are Democrats. We are Democrats supporting Trump. So we have to, in one country, we love this country all together. We have to stand together, okay? So we just want to find out what is happening.
Can I ask you about your sign and what brings you out today? Dad.
What brings me out is I'm scared my America is dying. And I have fought too hard, too long. My family was here.
Rich people got out first. That's what it is. The rich people got out first, and the rich people always support Trump because he wants to give tax cuts to the rich people.
Well, and immigrants that came here and got their right
all the poor
because they don't want anybody
Well,
else.
that's what we are here to find out
Right,
exactly.
and all the poor people that
like I
came and
mentioned
helped us
before,
in
we are Democrats.
Afghanistan,
My
they're
daughter
trying
is
to
Democrat.
deport them,
I'm
even though
Democrat.
they put their
And we're
lives on the
supporting
line.
President Trump because we see something good about it.
Yeah,
okay?
but then you
But,
didn't study history in World War II because they didn't start with the extermination camps. They started with the ghettos, moving everybody from Jewish people, Catholic people, gay people. And then they forced them to leave the country. And then they put them in concentration camps. Then they put them in death camps. That's what's happening now. We don't have due process anymore.
We try to find out exactly what people have in their mind, okay, and carry to the American people, to the media, and maybe, the politicians are gonna hear us too, right?
They won't change their mind. It's a fault. Good luck.
You don't want to talk to us, right?
Would you?
Not with that hat, really.
No. Well,
do you
I'm
believe-
Democrat.
Really?
Yes, I'm Democrat supporting President Trump because I see a lot of good. But I respect your...
You see a lot of good? In
Yes.
what?
No,
In what? Name one good thing.
I respect your views. I try to find
nepotism?
out.
The fascism?
I try to find out what is in your mind, okay? Maybe I can learn something today from you.
There is nothing more American than saying no to kings. Donald Trump wants to be a king, so we tell him no.
Okay. That's what we have to carry the message to.
If you want
the
to be a
politicians.
Democrat, take the stupid hat off. It's got a. It's,
Not really.
well, then
I decide-
we're going to look at it and think that's your IQ on the side.
In my...
Okay, Dad.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Robisz to sobie żart.
Okay.
You're making a joke of yourself.
Now you speak another language.
I speak English, Polish, Spanish, and some Vietnamese.
You speak Polish?
A little bit,
Jak
yeah.
się masz?
Claudio. Nazywam się Claudio.
Claudio. That's not a really Polish name, but my name is Marian. You heard about Marian? But you've been born here, right?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, I was born in Poland.
So was my mother.
Oh, okay. What part of Poland she was?
Warszawa.
Warszawa. I live in Warsaw for 2 years.
Nie obchodzi mnie, naprawdę. Jesteśmy tutaj, żeby walczyć o król.
Okay.
We're here to fight against the king. If you would like to fight against the king, pick up a sign, protest, take off the dumb hat.
No, this is the great hat I ever had.
That's
And
sad.
And you have to respect that.
I don't.
You don't,
Not
okay.
all ideas deserve respect.
But I do respect your idea.
Good.
Why don't you
Don't you
respect
care
mine?
about this country?
Huh?
Don't you care about this country?
Yes,
He's
I do.
destroying it.
Yes, I do.
They are destroying it.
Okay.
And pick up a sign and protest if you care about this country.
Well, you can tell your media through your, okay,
May I
to the
ask you, what is
politicians.
your biggest concerns about the direction America is going in?
I would like to have another election.
It's being destroyed. They're tearing down all the. They're tearing down all the agencies that help people. They're tearing them all down, and they're not giving people due process. They're just taking people out of their homes and bringing them to a gulag in El Salvador. No due process. It's insane.
Okay. So, to the media, maybe they can hear us, okay? They can hear you, okay? Maybe not
That's why we're here.
Okay. And we want to see
I
what
mean-
people have in their mind.
Yeah. So why are you wearing that hat?
Because I love this guy.
Find a better hat.
I
So
want...
look at my side.
No,
MAGA is alive. America was way before Trump.
Make America great, that came from already from Reagan.
No, it came from the Nazis. Read a book.
You know, my father was slain by Nazis.
So, my family too.
So
Yeah.
why on
So
earth-
why are you wearing that hat?
Doesn't bother me. Why bothers you?
Go goose step somewhere else.
Can I ask you about defend democracy? Sir? Hands off workers' rights. So today being May Day, can you tell me about like what inspires you to be out here today?
the truth. Thank God. I'm so glad you're here, brother. Tell me how the truth is.
Hey, are
the
you
first
Ukrainian?
day.
Are you Ukrainian?
Yes.
Okay, we are brothers then. I'm Polish and you're
what the
Ukrainian.
fuck do you have that? You ready for Putin to walk right into to Poland? That's the next step because
I don't understand too much.
you know
about
Donald and Putin, they buddies. They're on that billionaire club. You know what I'm saying? He
Not
wants to be
really.
a trillionaire,
Got to,
and he's going to do it.
got to listen to you.
Listen to the billionaires, baby. They know what's good for you.
Hopefully Ukraine are gonna win.
Woo!
Good video on this side. But this side is nearly impossible because I have to either be in the bike lane or
This is still a long line here, so we'll see if anybody wants to talk to us. A lot of signs, but still some of the signs I don't understand. You know, so,
Do you want to come on camera?
no.
Oh, okay.
So we try to read and try to understand what they protest. Okay? But not too many people they want to talk to us. I don't know why. I mean, when they came to protest, they should know what they protested for.
Dad, ask people about Mayday. Ask people about Mayday. Ask people about Mayday because this is the workers' international holiday.
Well, I have to find out somebody who wants to talk. Not that many people want to talk.
Yes!
Got quiet suddenly.
Oh yeah.
Can you tell us about what brings you out on Mayday?
Hi, Irma.
It's not Mayday.
It's a good sign.
It's rally.
Okay.
I'm anti-Trump, very anti-Trump, anti-Republican, anti-everything they stand for.
Can you tell me about what are your concerns about the direction America is going in?
Jobs, prices, decency towards our fellow human beings, women's right to choose, tons of due process for people who are kicked out of this country, supposedly illegal aliens or gang members with nothing to back that up.
What has made you be anti-Trump? Like, what are the top 2-3 things that has made you be anti-Trump?
He's such a rotten human being. I mean, if you look at his history, it's just horrible. The things he's said about women, the ways he's acted toward women, the ways he's acted toward workers who's worked on his properties. He's got a list a mile long before politics. Before politics, so many court cases being sued. You know, that's not just coincidence.
So do you think if he says that make America great again, he's lying about it?
I think he's lies about so many things. Yeah.
So many things, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you think we should give him a little bit more time to find out what he can accomplish? Because in a short time, we don't know exactly what.
I think he had 4 years before to show people what he could do, and it didn't turn out that well, did it? A lot of people died unnecessarily because of COVID, because he handled it so poorly.
Right. Who do you blame the COVID for? China or?
Blame what? COVID?
Yeah, who do you blame?
I think it was probably an accident. I don't think anybody did it purposely. But I think it was handled poorly in this country. Trump kept saying it was just going to go away by itself, and it's a little thing. It wasn't a little thing, and it didn't go away by itself. It turned out to be a million dead.
Show me what democracy looks like.
COVID too?
Yeah, I got it a couple times.
Couple times, yeah. I got on twice. One I was in a hospital for and then here I got, but I didn't want to say it.
I'd like to ask you about, you had mentioned about like lack of due process. So in talking to people, a lot of people have different definitions of what due process is. What is your definition of due process, and how do you see it's not being followed?
At least a hearing, a reading of the charges. These people are just shipped off without any word, without any injustice at all. It seems like there has to be something. It's largely what our country is based on.
Another hot button topic, tariffs. What are your thoughts on the tariffs?
I think that it looked like kids in a schoolyard with the numbers they were putting out there. What, 143% tariff? It's ridiculous. It's just insane. And in history, it never has worked. The tariffs didn't work around the Great Depression. It actually helped make it worse. So where Trump got his information of these tariffs, the way he was implementing them anyway, it was a good idea. I don't know. I'd love to know where he got the idea that this was going to be a good idea.
Do you think he's playing games in those countries, raising tariffs on them?
You know, a lot of people think that they raised the tariffs to drive stock prices low, and he and Musk bought a lot of stock after the price was low, and now the prices are rising again. They're making a lot of money. Whoops, sorry.
A last question I have for you is, your shirt says woke. It's not the insult you think it is. Can you talk more and expand what the shirt means?
To me, woke means caring about, having empathy, being aware of what's going on around me, aware of the plight of my fellow human beings. Yeah, all good things, in my opinion. The fact that hardcore Republicans use it as a bad thing, I don't know. I think it's a joke. I don't see. Yeah, I'm proud to be part of the woke mob, that we call it.
So, what do you think that more people vote for Trump than for the Democrats? Why is that? Are they blind or?
I think they've been fooled largely. The Democrats haven't done all that great a job either. I'm not saying I'm any great Democrat. Democrats haven't done that, but Trump has a history of just horrible things in his past, and I'm not so forgiving. I think somebody in presidential, to me, Biden was a typical run-of-the-mill politician. You know, he had his weaknesses, his strengths, but nothing special. But Trump has such a bad track record as a human being, as a person. I just think he's a horrible human being. Would you want your wife, your sister, your mother having to ever run into a guy like that back when they were dating? He's a horrible human being. And he joked about it on Howard Stern show time and time again, how he didn't respect women.
Do you think that the United States can support Ukraine?
Okay? It looks like we're going to abandon Ukraine, doesn't it? I'm all for supporting them. You know, we've got into it. I would like to see it through. us with Europe are longtime allies, but now it looks like they're going to turn their backs on Ukraine. It's going to be a bloodbath. They're going to lose a lot of land. Horrible. How about you? Do you think we should not finance it?
Well, did you ever hear that Putin killed Polish president?
Who killed
Polish president in 2010?
No, I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, in Seminole.
The whole executive cabinet in one plane.
Plane
Putin took them down.
crash, but it was actually...
That doesn't surprise me at all.
So if we let Putin win Ukraine, that would be good for the United States? Or
I don't see how it would be good for the United States. To you, I think it would be.
It'll be terrible for Poland, that's for sure.
Poland and a lot of all those other countries will be watching, and it's just terrible. And part of the peace deal they want now is that Ukraine could never join the United Nations. Why not? Why can't they join the United Nations?
Yeah, join part of NATO. Yeah. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate your words.
Thank you very much.
This is on the Polish American Brotherhood, is our YouTube channel.
You're looking at Polish American on YouTube.
My family's Hungarian.
I love Hungary.
You hear that
This is the best
Polish and Hungarian brothers? In Polish we say Polak and Węgier, dwa bratanki, idą picia, idą szklanki, something like that. Yeah. I'm saying this in Polish because I came from Poland. I was 20 years when I left Poland, came here. And I love this country. The country was always good for me. I had always good jobs here. You know, I worked for Chrysler, I worked for Tiger Air, and 25 years for United Airlines.
Yeah.
Now I retire and join.
So you were a union man.
Yeah.
Union did a lot of good those days. Unions, even though I've never been union or part of one or wanted to be one, you'd have to be blind not to know that they helped everybody's wages go up.
Yeah.
They lifted everybody's
So
security.
a little bit of history about Mayday today. It was 1886 that they were protesting for workers' rights, for safe labor conditions, and an 8-hour workday. And so that's what sparked the riot in Chicago, the Haymarket Massacre, as it was dubbed. And after that, 3 years later, they adopted an 8-hour workday and safe labor conditions and paid holidays. So it's recognized by over 80 countries now.
Nice, okay. I know there's significance. I should have known. Do you know all about Mayday?
Today is for Europe is the equivalent of like Labor Day for a holiday. Okay. Yeah.
Especially in Poland when I was growing up, every year I had to go with the.
He got docked at school for not going to one of the protests because they have all the children go and participate in the protest. It's a huge protest holiday. We appreciate your time very much. So you can find it. It's going to be on Polish American Brotherhood.
We continue our journey. See if anybody wants to explain us those times. Well accessible to me, public service for all we love public service. We do love public service. You make me dizzy doing this. I want to read your sign.
Can I ask you, there's a lot of different definitions about due process and how it's being handled. A lot of people have concerns about how there's no due process. Can you tell me what your definition of due process is and how do you feel it's not currently being followed?
¿De dónde eres? I'm good.
Why do you guys hate due process so much? Why do you guys hate due process so much? Yeah, because I'm making sure that you stop trying to give people in gotcha moments. I'm sorry I'm ruining your footage. And I'm sorry that you can't take
I can answer the question. We don't hate due process, but like according to like immigration laws, there's differences in due process, like whether it's a hearing, whether it is just reading your rights, whether it is they're not entitled. Not everybody if they're
according to United States law, everybody is actually entitled to their day in court. That's actually a part of our Constitution. And further, when you want to talk about immigration, we created the process for people that are running why can't I think of the word beginning with the name? Not refugees, it's the other word.
He's actually a refugee into the USA also.
Okay, that's cool. So we actually have processes for that, and when people obey...
Fuck Joe Biden! Fuck Joe Biden!
Yeah, fuck
Joe Biden! Joe Biden the bitch! Whoa!
So can I ask you, why is it okay? Can I ask you something?
I want to ask them why are you guys against Joe Biden?
Because he's a liberal. Liberal piece of shit.
Yeah.
Are you guys for Trump?
Yes.
Why?
Because that's my dog.
He's a good president, right?
Yes. Hey, give me some knuckles.
Okay.
Oh yeah. Fuck Joe Biden. Fuck Kamala Harris too, that fucking skank. Peace out, guys.
Is that your representatives?
Yes. No,
Young kids.
But don't you guys think,
in
like,
a free country, we are allowed to speak whatever they want. Okay?
right? And in a free country, we also don't arrest people on the basis on false premises, right? Because we have already deported lawful American citizens. We have already admitted that we've made several mistakes. Asylum's the word
Which
that.
American citizen has been deported?
So Garcia, for example, he was deported, right? He's been
The Maryland man?
yeah.
The Maryland man that's El Salvadorian American man?
Yep.
He's a U.S. citizen?
Yeah, the one that had the stop order back in 2019 for him going back to El Salvador because there was corroborated corroborated information that finds that his life is at risk back in that country because he is an asylum seeker.
But he had a deportation order also.
He had a stop, but he had a stop deportation.
He had a stop deportation El Salvador, but he had a deportation
But
order,
where did we deport him to?
There was an administration error. I can admit that.
So time out. So you think that it's okay for us to be able to send people on an administrative error to an El Salvadorian prison?
He's not American though.
So Americans don't have human rights?
No, he's not an American.
But do Americans not have human rights?
Americans have U.S. rights.
Do non-Americans not have human rights?
This is according to the Constitution.
But he's not.
He's not. Okay.
That's who he's running from.
So he was a good guy, right?
He was running from the Guatemalan gang, right? That's what the original stop order was from 2019. He was running from the Guatemalan gang that was no longer a threat in El Salvador.
But again, do people not have human rights? Just because somebody's not American, does that mean that we have the right to put them in an El Salvadorian prison?
I think if they're not American and living here illegally, they don't have
So you think, again, so you believe, and I just want to make this clear, you believe that we should take people that have crossed the border illegally, legally or otherwise, even though he was going through a legal process, but we can ignore that and say that he entered illegally. You think that gives the United States of America the right to do the exact same thing, by the way, that Nazi Germany was doing in the 1930s?
No, I think he should have had if there was a stop order, he should have had his hearing. But I do feel that as a non-U.S. citizen who is living here illegally, who beats his wife, who has domestic charges against him,
he had one charge against him. And do you believe that means that he no longer has rights and should then be deported to an El Salvador prison?
I don't think he has U.S. rights. No.
You don't know. It's not about U.S. rights. I said human rights. You notice human. Do you believe?
The right to live in another country is not a human right. It's a country right.
So if you believe that he could be deported or removed, that's one thing. There's a difference between being deported and removed and being put in an El Salvadorian prison that is known for its violence rate, its rape rate, and its death rate inside of. That's literally what the prison is known for.
Let me ask you, one of the senators went to El Salvador and Southern, and I didn't see him in the prison. They've been drinking a margarita and stuff like that.
So that was actually found out, and the senator said in that meeting that the El Salvadorian, the guy running the prison, what's the word for the guy running the prison? He came out and he wanted to make it look like that they were treating him better than they were. That is the testimony of the entirety of the staff of the senator that was there. That's the testimony of the guy there. Do you believe, and I'm going to ask you this honestly, do you believe that in that El Salvadorian prison that they're serving the prisoners margaritas?
But he was outside.
They took him outside. They took him outside of the prison, and they tried to put a margarita in front of him. Do you think that he's getting margaritas inside of the prison?
Do you think that American taxpayers should pay for all the legal to legalize skincare or
to legal? So when you talk about taxpayer money, that's an interesting topic because it turns out that illegal immigrants actually pay more in taxes per capita than natural-born citizens. And the IRS has had this data for years. In fact, one of the things that the IRS one of the things that they were having a fight about in the IRS today is the fact that the IRS is now being forced to hand over the information of illegal immigrants that may have paid into taxes. So they pay into taxes and they get no services.
Do you think that we should send somebody over there and pay for all the things what required to bring him here back?
Yeah, I do believe that it is our duty as a group that wronged a person. We caused a harm. We made the mistake. That is our duty to correct it. No.
Yeah, I believe if he was wrong to the...
So we should fix it. It's our fault. We should do something about it, right?
So is the Democrats going to do something about it?
Well, listen, if you want to talk about the Democrats, no one here is sitting here saying the Democrats are angels. No one here is going to sit down and say that the Democrats are perfect. But what I am saying is they didn't do unconstitutional things and they didn't violate human rights on the scale that we're seeing in this administration. I want to ask again. It was something that you said something about people living here illegally. Why is that such a problem for you?
Well, my dad was a refugee coming into America, so he left communism in Poland and everything. So my family has immigrated here. It takes years and years and years to go through the legal channels.
Which is a problem.
I agree
which
with
is
you
a
there.
problem, correct? Like
Yes.
the problem is that we already have racist laws when it comes to immigration in the first place that puts in artificial caps, all sorts of things, and our process for legal immigration is one of the longest processes in the entire world. 20 years on average.
We can definitely agree that our immigration programs, our systems is broken, and they need to come up with a new solution. So Trump's trying to secure the borders, and that's his approach.
But here's my question: what is the harm that they are causing? What is the harm? This is the problem with demonizing a group. You can say that there are problems with the administration or the ways that things are being correct. The system is broken. So then to assign villainy to a group of people, right? And this group of people benefit our economy. They take jobs that we don't take. Remember that when Trump took office, the unemployment rate was 2%. So it's not like they're taking our jobs. It's not like they're doing anything besides paying taxes into a system that they will never get benefits for. So paying for you guys, us not paying for them. They are taking jobs that would otherwise be defunct, which we're having issues with right now because of mass deportation. And at the end of the day, they have great culture, great food. By the way, other statistics they're fun. They commit crimes at a lower rate than natural-born citizens. They commit murder at a much lower rate than natural-born citizens. I don't see why it is that you have such a problem with them. Besides, and this is the thing, and I'm not trying to assign this label, but it comes off as incredibly racist and bigoted.
I hear what you're saying, but I'll answer your question. So I spent several months documenting the immigration crisis in our southern borders over at Eagle Pass and also in Arizona and Yuma, and then so I would interview at the caravans, and so it was interesting because there are good people that are there, but then there are also nefarious characters there as well. And so in terms of like a vetting process for those who get in, that's why I'm for a secure border. And then also the cartels, they're able to create the other, like human smuggling. 1/3 of women who come through human smuggling are sexually abused. There's a lot of different problems that come from that.
How are we fixing that by demonizing a group of people that are doing nothing wrong? And then B, when you say, I want a better vetting process, well, currently in this country right now, we have never found anybody that has done any domestic terrorism, as an illegal immigrant. Their rate of murder is lower. Their rate that they pay into taxes is higher. So again, when you're talking about vetting, sure, we could vet better, but the onus isn't really on the vetting when the outcomes are so low in the first place. Why does that bother you so much? Why does that bother you more than, say, dealing with issues that cause levels of murder? We have one of the highest rates of male suicide going on right now because of access to guns, right? We have the highest rate of mass shootings in the Western world, right? We have the highest rate of, like, our rate of murder is 400 times higher than most Western countries. Why aren't we dealing with those issues if you care about outcomes? And instead, we focus on this group of people that are, and again, by and large, doing nothing but benefiting everybody around them.
Well, I mean, those are a lot of issues that all need to be dealt with, but when we specifically talk about illegal immigration and crimes that are committed, I mean, the rate should be zero, because if we had a secure border and we had a secure immigration process, then it would be zero.
Wait, time out. No, that's not true, because legal immigrants commit crimes. Legal immigrants that are vetted, that have no backgrounds, commit crime.
And they would be
so
deported.
it's an impossible standard to say that it will be zero. What the standard should be, it should be just like, again, why are this group of people being held to a standard up here when regular Americans are held to a standard down here? Why is it that we allow for violent murder, violent crime, all the things that we allow for in this country by not dealing with our education system, by not dealing with guns, by not dealing with the inequality? We know that the number one creator of crime is inequality. Why don't we deal with that, which again has much better outcomes? We will get a substantially larger deficit of things like murder, things like people evading their taxes, things like starvation. Why aren't we focusing on that, and why are you villainizing this group of people? And I would like to note that how is this any different than when Germany had all of the exact same problems that the United States has, that they focused on the Jewish population and dealing with their issues? And sending, by the way, the first Jewish citizens that were put in camps in Poland, not in Germany. How does that not bother you? And why is it that you are okay with those parallels?
Do you think that the more Polish people was put to death than Jewish people? More Polish people was put to death in a concentration camp than Jewish people?
There were tons of different groups. One of the things that is often mischaracterized about the Holocaust is how widespread it was, right? So we didn't just have Jewish victims. We had Polish victims that they said were communists, LGBTQ. That was the first books they burned and banned, by the way, kind of like another group we're talking about. There were the Romani that are, the slur for them, the slur that's used for them. All of those people were murdered in the Holocaust too. So no, I don't think that the Holocaust was singular one group of people, but I do think that one group of people was used in the body politic of Germany in order to obfuscate and ignore the greater problems that were happening in Germany, much like the president is today. And my question for you is, why are you okay with that?
No, we're not okay with anything what is wrong, okay? And let me ask you, because we're working also on retarded problems.
Are you good? Do you need saving?
No.
Okay, you're doing a really good job. I heard you. You're doing excellent, but
this is so they don't clip up other people.
Okay.
No, you're also very knowledgeable, so this is
super knowledgeable. But sometimes you get in a spot and you're like, I wish someone would save me.
No, I'm okay.
I was also going to ask you, we have a podcast and we invite everyone from different perspectives, and this is a good longer conversation that we can have on
But I am asking you pretty directly, isn't it a little abhorrent that we are attacking this minority group of people that do nothing but benefit us as a society, benefit us as a group, simply because of broken systems that we created? They didn't create our immigration system, we did. So why is it their fault? Why should they suffer at the hands of it? When the reality is, they just want a part of the American dream and to make your lives better. Why is it okay that we go after them like this?
I don't think it's right to be demonizing any particular group. Like our firm stance is about border security, and with the legal, like even when they go to sanctuary cities, it causes a problem for like people when you're an undocumented or illegal person, like you are not able to go, like if you're the victim of an assault,
Correct.
you can't go and get help. Like,
Correct.
Like,
we should
there's
have
this-
systems.
there's this
So you
whole
would be
flood of
good. So you'd be
problems
okay
that
with
come with
mass
it.
amnesty.
You know, I believe it was Reagan that tried that, and he gave mass amnesty to like 10 million illegal immigrants at the time, hoping to wipe the slate from there. But then so that was the goal to end like the
Reagan did not give mass amnesty.
Okay. Maybe it was
I
Carter,
believe
but
that
one of
anybody
the
who is
presidents.
in
It was
this
like in the
country-
80s, gave mass amnesty to like 10 million illegal living here and everything in order to like that was his solution of the immigration crisis. But then from that, good intention spurred another like flood and mass illegal immigration to it.
Right,
So that
right.
wasn't a good solution to it. I believe in the dreamers.
Because the amnesty without fixing the situation
Yes.
will cause more of the problem.
Yes.
Why don't we just make them? Why don't we just let them in?
There should be like the dreamers, for instance, like children who are brought here illegally. It wasn't by their choice or anything, and now their whole lives have been here in the U.S. There should be pathways to citizenship.
But forget. There should be pathways to citizenship. So why deport them? Why not just give them pathways to citizenship?
No, I believe that anybody who is in this country, minimum 10 years, they leave the border outside, and
So
after
then-
10 years, okay, they should be eligible to be a resident.
That is far better. I would go much further, but at least with that I could take a standard. But here's the thing: then you must be against Garcia. He was here for more than 10 years. How many people have we been deported that have been here for more than 10 years? What about those kids that had cancer? Like, again, you want to bring up issues of border security. When I talk about, I think that that's a false framing. What do we need to be secure from? What are we afraid of at the border? We know, by the way, that illegal drugs don't pass through the country in illegal pathways. They mainly pass through legal ports of entry. And they're mainly delivered here. And this is, again, when we want to talk about demonizing a group and we bring up the cartels, the vast majority of the people that smuggle in drugs into this country are United States citizens. The vast majority of the people that the cartel hires to smuggle illegal drugs into this country are United States citizens. There is no benefit for them to send it with an illegal person, because as soon as that illegal person is caught, they're deported and sent back here. That means that they don't have chance for those drugs to enter in the country, versus if you do it at a legal port of entry, which they do en masse, which every study has found. So again, what do we need to be secure from if all of these threats? And that's one of the biggest points. Why do we buy into the idea that these things are threats in the first place?
Well, we can continue.
Can I
this,
ask you
more
an
time
analogy?
about
If somebody were to
illegals,
steal
but
a car,
let me ask you.
1 second. I'll answer yours in just one moment.
Do you think there is another problem, like maybe retirees have a problem? Because that's what we're doing, working on a
What problems?
Retirees. When you retire, let's say for 30 years you work in here hard, okay, and then when you retire, you worry that your money will run away, okay, or you don't have a comfortable life.
That's what Social Security is for.
Right, but sometimes it's not enough, especially when the housing is so expensive.
Oh yeah, we have a housing crisis, absolutely.
And another thing, homeless problem in America is the biggest. This is the richest country, okay, and homeless is the biggest problem in America.
You are correct. So those issues of both the idea that the living wage, the amount that you get out of Social Security, isn't enough to maintain yourself, is a travesty. Social Security has been one of largely the most successful government program in history, taking, I believe it was about 30% of the elderly out of poverty. So you are correct when we say that our elderly should have a chance to die in dignity. They should be able to live at the end of their lives, especially after giving so much for their entire lives. But you hit on a problem. The housing crisis is a problem. The housing crisis largely being a function of non-regulation in the market. Things like housing developers continuously building these urban sprawls that create inefficient tax bases that make cities go bankrupt. Not only that once there's urban sprawl there, we don't build dense enough to actually maintain lower housing prices and the rental rate. You're sitting in Orlando, Florida. Orlando, Florida is the second highest most unaffordable place in the country right now. The only place more unaffordable is Miami-Dade. The reason that's happening is right now 33 out of 100 families that make 30% of the area median income don't have access to affordable housing. Why? Because we have not increased the housing supply significantly since 2010. That's the problem. Build more houses. But I'm going to tell you something, and it's going to make you sad. Building more houses is going to make a lot of people more poor because they thrive off that increase in value that they get by the false scarcity created by not building more houses. So it requires government intervention. Are you for government interventions?
You have to answer to me that I'm not that knowledgeable like you. You are a very smart guy, you know, and you're
I appreciate
guy,
it.
you know, and I've been in this country for 55 years. I left Poland when I was only 20 years. And I worked hard here. I retired from United Airlines.
And you deserve dignity.
Right. Well, I cannot complain, but I see a lot of people in the richest country that the retirees have a problem and homeless problem.
And you know what's sad about that? And I'll bring it to a point here, then I'll answer your question, which is Finland has figured out homelessness. They have a homelessness rate of 0.001. Japan has figured out homelessness. Austria has largely figured out homelessness. Norway has largely figured out homelessness. There are cities in Canada right now that are solving their homelessness problem. So the fact that we don't take that as a priority here, or we look at the solutions that exist around the world, is some reason why you need to look above. And again, as much as I demonize the Republicans, who are the worst? Who are the worst? I do not want to equivocate. Naked evil is always worse than the evil that the other groups are doing because they have naked racism and bigotry. But the Democrats are not innocent in this. Obama's bailout was the largest growth in inequality in this country until Donald Trump. So this issue doesn't know a party, okay? But again, all of that does not make it okay to demonize a group of people who do nothing but benefit society, pay into your taxes, do jobs that you don't want to do, commit less murder, everything that you would like. All of that is not a good reason to blame the most vulnerable among us.
Do you think that politicians only take care of themselves, not about
Absolutely. The political class in this country is something that we call neoliberalism that started around the 1970s and 80s, and they absolutely only look out for themselves. If they cared about that, they would ban campaign contributions from corporations. They would ban lobbyists. They would shorten, much like many countries around the world, campaigns to just 2 or 3 months out of the year instead of these multi-year, multi-billion dollar. Did you know in this country we spent I think it was 14 billion by the Republicans, like 12 billion by the Democrats, and most of that billion, by the way, was Elon Musk aiding out the Republicans. Without him, he drops below the Democrats. I'll be clear about that. But at $10 billion, we could solve the homelessness problem.
Yeah.
So what is our issue? So I want to answer her question though, because
Sorry, I'm changing battery right now.
Oh no worries.
The live stream's going. My question's a little irrelevant now at this point, but
because I answer it along the way.
My question's redundant now, but let me just run this thing back on. But I appreciate you taking this time. I'm definitely going to put this on its own video. You can find us on the Polish American Brotherhood, and then so you'll see the content there. And then feel free to reach out to us. We have a podcast. We live right here in Oviedo, and we'd like to invite you on.
But can I again? I want to, and I mean this because I'm reaching out to your heart with all of the information that I gave you, with all of the knowledge that I just said. How is it that are you guys still in support of Trump?
One thing we have to tell you, we try to carry the message to the media, to the politicians. I'm Democrat, she's Democrat, and we support Donald Trump.
It was first time Republican voting.
We know he was elected by more people, and we have to respect that, okay? I don't believe that any politician, they care about the normal people. here, okay?
Obviously. Well, I mean, I think that there are a few that are more amenable to normal people, but greatly, you'll notice that the Democratic Party actually pushes those people out as well. So it's not like I'm sitting here saying, but I'm saying, how can we support, like you're wearing a Make America Great Again hat.
That's what we want to do, make America great. If the Democrats will come and say, make America great again, we got to support them.
But the problem is that language, the language that it was made around when we say make America great again. When was America great? Because when I last checked, the people that looked like me were getting slaughtered by the thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands at all points of time in this country. When was America great? Was it when we were bombing black? Was it when we were bombing black neighborhoods? Was it when we were testing, when we were infecting black people with, the Tuskegee experiment, when we were infecting them with syphilis? Was it when we were stealing children in the 80s, when Ronald Reagan's wife was part of that thing where they were trying to normalize Native American children by stealing them from their families from reservations? Was it during the 90s when the CIA was giving crack to black Americans in order to fund toppling countries around the world? When was America great?
I don't know. We try to, in our minds, okay, make America great again. Like I said, if the Democrats coming with this logo, make America great again, we support them.
We have to wrap this up, but I have a final question for you.
Yeah.
What direction do you want America to go in?
The direction that I hope that Americans go in is we need to look at each other and realize, for the longest period of this time, the body politic has done everything that they can to separate us by race, by gender, by citizenship. They're trying to separate us so that we don't notice the obvious, which is since the 1970s, corporate profits and productivity has increased 400%, and yet our wages have only increased a mere 60 to 80%. This is the great distraction. Large companies and the body politic want you to ignore that we are bots, that we exist as an oligarchy, and that we need to come together as a grassroots from the bottom up, mutual aid, work with each other, work with your neighbor, and create structures parallel to government, because government will never take care of us. Government is not taking care of us, so we need to create structures parallel to government. Feed your neighbor, help them with rent, take them in, hide somebody that's running from fascism. Do something to help the people around you, because it's obvious that we're not going to get saved from above.
What kind of job are you doing?
Huh?
What kind of job are you doing?
I work with nonprofits.
Okay. Are you going to run ever for Congress?
I work in direct action. I go out and I feed the homeless. I go out and I clothe the homeless.
Yeah, but you should be, with your voice being pure, you should be a good politician, okay? And that's why you live in Seminole County?
I live in Orange County. But honestly, I hear what you're saying, but much like Martin Luther King before me, or Malcolm X, or Fanon, electoralism isn't going to get us anywhere. And that's why we need to stop pretending like voting is going to change anything. The only time we ever get our rights, and I'm sorry, you can catch this on camera too to make me sound crazy, but the only time that we get our rights is when there's violence involved. And that's unfortunate.
But I wish you ran for Congress, okay? What's your
I
name?
appreciate you. Aston.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah. Okay. I apologize. I thought you were with the other guy. If you're
He's our buddy, but we have different approaches to our channels.
Okay, well that dude's a dickhead trying to clickbait people, and I think that it's really unfortunate that to make such hateful points.
When you check out our channel, you see we platform everybody from all different perspectives. Like Dad has his stance, but we like to talk to people across lines and everything.
I always wonder though, is we talk to people around both sides, and when we both sides an issue like this, but isn't it not great to give equal voice to the people that are spreading hate and harm, right? It's like if I'm CNN, which has done this by the way, Fox News, and I put a climate denier and a climate scientist next to each other, doesn't that make it sound like this issue is 50-50 when the reality is 99% of scientists agree with climate change? So when we platform hate and bigotry, and we give a microphone to that, aren't we part of the system?
I think though, when it comes to like free speech though, because you have to, you don't win an argument by silencing the other person's voice. You have people speak their minds and let the best ideas rise to the top.
But does that happen? Is that actually how that works? And further, when I say this, is it that we need to convince those people, or do we need to spend more time uplifting the people that are the victims of abuse? And then if we uplifted those people and we empowered them, then that group of people can go and make a difference in the body politic, right? Because only 60% of us vote in the first place.
Yeah.
Why do you think that is? Because we're too busy trying to argue with people that are never going to change their minds in the first place.
Yeah, and then often people are too busy to read even the full articles of anything. They just see the headlines and go with that. So it takes a lot of time, especially in America, to be to do your research and everything, because our media systems are extremely biased. Like I did a lot of time covering what's going on in France during like the Macron protests and the today's Mayday. I'm usually in France for that, but their reporting style is like old school. When I studied journalism in school, like more than 20 years ago, it was supposed to be unbiased and not like, but everyone's a political commentator.
Well, what it is it's the thing that I said, which is it's because they're bought.
Yeah.
It's because the issues in France would reflect a stronger worker union,
Yeah.
and you'll notice if you look at the statistics, the rate that anti-corporatist messaging gets through newspapers is much lower than the rate of left versus right. You know what I mean? It's really one thing, and they're trying to make sure that we are disempowered to recognize that they're taking everything from us.
Yeah.
Right? We're a rich country. Nobody should be hungry. Nobody should be in the streets.
100% there.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely. You guys have a good day.
I
will.
We want to hear your voice.
Hey, they think I should run for Congress. Go for it. Remember you? Go for it. You so different.
Go for it.
All right. We're at 6:30. Shall we?
You filming?
Yeah.
All right, guys. We got the Trump 2028 flags. Right. I think it's a good spot to stay. What do you think?
All right.
Orange. Hey, free speech, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
It's free speech.
Except when Elon Musk, you like
Why not?
causing
Trump, you
trouble.
like for president.
That's what you do. You like causing trouble.
Trump, you like, let's go.
What the hell she's doing?
Let's go. I love the algorithms.
Are you a Trumper too?
Yes.
Why?
We are Democrats supporting Trump.
Get the hell out of here.
Some people don't like it.
Do you know that if you have a miscarriage in Trump's America, you're going to go to prison? If you have an ectopic pregnancy in Trump's America, you're going to go to prison. You're not going to get health care. I care more about your health than you do.
Thank you.
I got a question.
Well, you know what?
Wearing red. You look feminine. You got nice looking.
Red is a primary color.
The thing
She
is,
looks like a Republican
the
woman.
thing is, Trump does not
And you
have,
definitely look like a Democrat woman.
Trump does not have the corner on the color red.
No, he doesn't. But I'm saying the overall look that you have. Very feminine, floral.
The
hair is nice.
I think that's regardless of the fact it's what your policies are, what your politics are, what you want to see for your children in the future and your grandchildren. My family came over from Cuba when I was 3. And I'm thinking the grace that this country showed us when we came in 1961 is not the kind of grace we would be seeing today. And so my family would then be living under communist rule. And so we absolutely love freedom. We love democracy. We love the rule of law.
Well, most Cubans vote Republican.
Most Cubans do because there's still the old world where they feel that Kennedy and the Day of Pigs was an era that the United States let the Cuban community down.
and it allowed Castro to continue his communist regime. So it's dying down, but Cubans, as many immigrants, as you are probably an immigrant.
I'm an immigrant from Mexico. He's an immigrant from Poland.
So we're hardworking people. All we want is a fair shake. All we want is a fair shake. We don't want a handout. We want a hand up. And I want to give that legacy to my children.
I do too.
And I want to give it to my grandchildren.
I want to give it to immigrants that come legally and obey the law and order.
Now,
if you come illegally, I want you deported.
Now that's a whole nother issue.
I love immigration. I'm pro-immigration, by the way.
That's a whole nother issue. And yes, immigration reform is something that we should tackle.
Agree. We can agree on that one. Yeah.
Absolutely. But the economy and working a 40-hour job, working 2 jobs to try to just make ends meet is something that the Washington elite is out of touch with.
Right. Well, it got worse during the lockdowns.
Well,
and Biden's lockdowns and the COVID mandates.
But no, our economy was doing great.
Donald Trump has got to go. Hey, hey.
So well economically.
Donald Trump has got to go.
The Biden administration, where he was bringing things back. And employment was at an all-time low. You got it. We were getting things done. What's happening now is the revenge tour.
Retribution.
The revenge tour.
He used the word retribution.
Well, because it sounds better. It sounds better. But look at how it's affecting you personally. How is it affecting you personally?
My life's better.
Is your life better?
Oh, yeah.
Are you making more money? Are you saving more money? Is your money working for you?
Well, I'll say this. I'm a YouTuber. Yeah. And now that Donald Trump's president, YouTube is no longer suppressing conservative Republican channels as much. So they're allowing our views to, it's a business decision by YouTube. So I am making more with Trump in office than I would as a Democrat.
But are you also seeing how many other people are struggling?
That's been going on for many years.
But it's even worse now. It is even worse now.
At least inflation is an all-time 4-year low in the month of March.
I'm telling you what, I don't know what you're looking at.
No, it did. We could pull up.
But
4-year low.
We are at such a crisis economically. We are at such a crisis globally right now, but we are no longer the superpower. We are not, and it's very sad because this is such a great country, and we love it. We love it, and the Republicans don't have a corner on that either. We are just.
They do in terms of marketing.
We are. Okay.
This word is usually not associated with Democrats. You know that.
It doesn't.
I'm just saying that word has been commandeered by the Republican Party.
Hey, you're very brave for being
and I respect you trying to bring it back a little bit, but.
Thank you.
If we just had a one-party country, guess what we would be?
An oligarchy.
We would be Cuba.
What is your name?
And my family struggled and came with nothing.
I'm Tara.
To live in a democracy. I don't want to give that up.
You want to know what's funny about that?
So that is what I'm saying.
Well, Trump won through democracy.
No, he doesn't.
You don't think he won this election through democracy?
I think he won it with money. I think he won it with
money. Let me give you a fact. Kamala spent $1.6 billion on her campaign. Trump only spent $50 million on his campaign. So he spent 20% of what she spent. Yeah.
I don't believe you.
I'm telling you.
I believe he is owned by Elon
Well, let's assume
Musk.
that fact is true. Kamala spent 5 times more to lose.
I believe.
Aren't we not owned by money in that regard?
I believe he is owned. Now, we need to have, this is what we need to have. We need to have term limits for everybody.
I agree.
We do not have tax. With that tax money.
I agree.
And if you're going to donate to your party, let's say you're going to donate to your Republican Party. You donate to your party, and then the party will say, you're running for Senate against each other. Guess what? You each get the same amount of money.
That's fair too.
Cut that pie any way you want.
You are so common sense, I feel like you're a Republican.
Well,
you are the rare
I'll tell you, that's a little demeaning.
Common sense Democrat.
No, I
It's
think
not
that's
demeaning.
I think I find it offensive.
No, it's not offensive. It's a compliment.
No. If you're saying something to someone and they tell you it's offensive, you just have to say that that's my opinion.
It is your opinion. Yeah.
So, but to me, it's demeaning. And so, I feel that what you see here is just dissatisfaction
and we support it. They're allowed to make their voice heard.
Of everyday local people. I've been in this city for 40 years.
I have a question. I am Democrat supporting Trump. Is that wrong?
You know, this is what I say about that. We are a free country. And you...
That's it, you're right. God bless you, folks. God bless you. 4 more years. 3rd term, brother. 3rd term.
Look at my flag say.
You are...
Oh, yes. You're a supporter of mine?
Let's go.
Amen.
You are free to support who you want to support. And that's because you live in a free country. Because at one point, Poland was under a lot of tyranny, as Cuba was. So I support your freedom to choose who you want to choose. Do I agree with you? No. But I support who you want to support. I support you in that because I want you to be a free person. So, anyway.
Thank you very much.
I believe in democracy, that's why I'm Democrat, okay? But I see a lot of good things about Trump that eventually he's going to bring this country better, you know? He's going to make it MAGA eventually.
But see, I am progressive in the sense that I don't feel that you have any business in what I do with my body and what I do with what my doctor and I decide to do. As in, I don't want to be in the doctor's office with you when you're talking to your doctor about your body. So, in that respect, I want to have individuality on that. And the Republican Party does not embrace that. Actually, they penalize women and they want to hold women down. And we have fought too long to be equal, to be pushed back. I'm not going to have my daughter and my granddaughter have less rights than I have. And as you wouldn't want your grandson to have less rights than you. Is that correct?
Well, I'm not that knowledgeable of all the politics what's going on. I have to tell you that. We just want to carry the words through the media to the politicians so maybe they can hear us what we want to, what we ask.
Because we're a free democracy, but we want autonomy in our bodies. And I don't know why that would be an issue, why you would care what I do with my body. So anyway, good luck to you.
Thank you very much.
Hey, you want to get out of here?
Yeah.
Let's go.
That little, like, they told me.
In the Trump outfit.
Keep filming though as we walk back.
Okay.
As I walk with my Trump 2028 flag.
So Adam Francisco came with the Trump flag 2028.
That's right.
But I don't think it's a possible.
How do you feel about Trump getting a 3rd term?
Because the president can run only twice, and our president already ran twice, so I don't think he will be eligible to run again.
Do you think it's a possibility that he's going to try?
Let's go find.
Are we going?
Let's go this way because we got our Donald Trump guys over that way. Yeah. Interview the guy in the Trump outfit.
That weirdo with the mask on?
No. There's the Asian in the. I was like, hey, that's Filipino. He's this way. Huh?
You seem Filipino?
He looks Filipino. I can't really tell under the wig, but.
Oh, you want that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Mr. Trump.
Oh, Mr. Trump.
Are you okay?
Talk to him like Donald Trump did.
We will make America great again. We will make America safe again. And we will make America great again. God bless you and good night. I love you. 2016 and now you're
Tell me where you're from.
I'm from the great city of Philadelphia, one of our founding cities here in the United States.
Okay.
It's the city of brotherly love.
How long you been in Florida?
I have been in Florida for a year and a half.
You like it?
And I love it. We have patriot, American-loving Americans in Philadelphia. We also have folks like these up in Pennsylvania as well. They're everywhere. I couldn't believe 50% of our country voted for Kamala.
So tell me why you support our president, dear President Trump.
I support the 45th and the 47th President of the United States because his values are more aligned with the Bible. And I have biblical beliefs. I want to live my life in accordance with the Bible, and Donald Trump is the candidate that is closest aligned with those beliefs, the beliefs of the working class man.
Okay. Do you think he's gonna really make America great?
Do I think Trump will make America great?
Yeah.
I think he will try his best, his very best.
Okay. So the policy right now, what he's making, is going forward with for MAGA or you know. Is changing already something in the politics?
I think there's a great wave. I think there's a big change in America already. You can tell the climate. It's changing in the right direction. It's a red wave, baby. The youth. UCF is right 10 minutes down the street from here. They love me. They love the Don. They love America. We all love America.
So you are a student at UCF?
No, sir. I work strictly now.
Oh, what kind of job are you doing?
I work for an engineering firm. I can't say the name because they may or may not like Trump, but they're a wonderful firm. They build the buildings of America. It's wonderful.
Okay. So you're gonna continue to support Donald Trump for next year?
For the next term, we'll see. We have a circuit set up. So if Trump doesn't run next term, we will have JD, then Don Jr., then we'll have DeSantis, then JD, DeSantis all over again until we get to Barron's age. Barron, he'll be Baron of America. We remove the presidency, just make him a Baron. Baron the Baron.
He's a great man, I like this guy.
Hey, you can have this as a gift. I got extra.
No way, dude. Are you sure? Thank you so much. I love you guys.
What's your social?
I actually, this is our first video.
Oh, awesome. What's your social? Give your shout out.
Yeah, we are local here in Oviedo. I actually don't really use social media.
So what are you doing there? What are you filming it for?
For our first video, we haven't even made an account yet, but we're going to.
All right, well,
Dad, do you have a card?
Give him a shout out.
Do you have a card?
My name is Adam Francisco. I got about 150,000 subs on YouTube.
Oh, hey Franny, we love it,
If you can make your account tonight and give me your name by tonight,
yeah,
then I can plug it, and you'll get a lot.
Wait, because some of them.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Hey Franny, we love you. Hey
So
Franny.
send me a message once you have your account set up.
Yes,
all right?
sir. God bless you. You're doing great work.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
We have a podcast. I'm here in Oviedo,
Awesome.
so we'd love to have you on, okay?
Awesome. Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. We'd love to be there.
Polish American Brotherhood.
Polish American. We love Poland.
Wave that flag. Let's see you with the flag. Hold on.
All right.
All right, guys. So I had to gift this guy my Trump 2028 flag.
I don't have
more.
one.
I have one more. Flip it around. I do have one more at home, so I was feeling generous.
Thank you very much, Adam.
Enjoy it, brother.
Hey, friend. Thank you, guys. God bless America.
Fun day?
Yeah, it was a fun day.
I got one more of those flags.
Hey, Dad. You ready?
You got a good sign here. Social Security stolen from us. Well, the check is coming, $5,000 next month. Extra check on Social Security.
Alright guys, me and Dad are wrapping up the video. It's been a good Mayday interviewing some actually quite good perspectives and everything to see where people are coming from. And from your friends at the Polish American Brotherhood, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Ciao!
Okay, I enjoyed this time. I'm talking to the people, to the Democrats. You know, they are great people. They have a lot of science here, you know.
You guys are
So
in a call.
huh?
You guys are in a call.
It's funny, Dad's complimenting
That is something a
them.
man who's had several vaccines and boosts would say.
I just think it's ironic. Dad's actually complimenting
Yeah, you
them,
probably
and
had like 5 of
they're
them.
always attacking him, though.
Go get your next bivalent COVID booster.
Okay.
Anyways.
Thank you guys for being with us. I had a great day. Hope you got to enjoy too.
There's nothing. That stuff has him walking away. This is what soy boys do. This is what soy boys do. That's a soy boy. If you wait till him 50 feet away, then he starts running his mouth.
Yeah, that's true.
Bye bye. See you again.
Traffic hour. Okay, guys, we're heading out of here. I gotta get some food. But thanks for joining in today's live stream. Since it is quite later, Dad and I will not be jumping on our usual podcast time, so I can go ahead and edit this video. So catch us later. Bye.
Bye. They gave us thumbs up. Yeah. It's a real woman.